Alright, question 3. A circle has the equation of x plus 9 squared plus y plus 3 squared equals 96. A, what is the center of the circle? B, what is the radius of the circle? Select one answer choice for A and select one answer choice for question B. So I did write down some notes, just the standard form of the circle. I'm noticing that's what it's written in. And I noticed that this is actually x plus 9. But in standard form, it's x minus, so I'm thinking, well, how did a subtraction sign be changed to a plus sign? And that's if you subtract a negative number. So this is really x minus negative 9, and then this y plus 3. Again, how would you change a negative sign to an addition sign? It would be by subtracting a negative number. And I noticed that 96 is where r squared is. So I know that r squared is equal to 96 because it's right here in this position. So the center, it says where h and k is the center. So because this changed to an addition sign, I know the center is going to be negative 9, and our k is a negative 3 again because this ended up being a addition sign. So the center is negative 9, negative 3, and I'm still trying to find the radius. And so how do we undo squared? We square root it. Or we could jump over to our symbol calculator and just say r squared equals 96. And it will simplify this for us. So it's just saying that there are going to be two solutions. One's going to be a positive number and one's going to be a negative number. So the square root of 96 equals 4 square roots of 6. This shows us the steps. It says to factor 96, which is 2 to the 5th times 3. 2 to the 5th, I would just write it out like this. I would write it out as 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 3, because 2 to the 5th just means you have 5 2's being multiplied all together. The reason why they're doing that is so that you can apply the radical rule. So you could take out the 2 to the 4th and split that. So likewise, we could just write out 4 2's being multiplied together right there times the square root of 2 times 3. This would be equivalent. This is apply the radical rule. So that just means that this number would be divided by whatever number is implied right here, and since that's a squared, that's a 2. Or how I like to think of it is I know that there's a square root here. That means I have to have groups of 2 in order to, I guess, jailbreak. So I would just circle these and cause jailbreaks. So to break out a jail, it is groups of 2, so that would end up with that being a 2, and this group of 2 would be represented by this 2. So that's where they get the 2 to the squared. So then they would end up with 2 times 2, and this ends up being 2 times 3. So then 2 times 2 is 4, times the square root of 2 times 3 is 6. So that's how they ended up with 4 square roots of 6. So again, there's different ways to simplify a radical. They are just doing it all based on rules, which is awesome. I have a different method, which is also correct. So that's how they ended up with 4 square roots of 6. So our radius, notice though that it also says negative 4 square roots of 6. So I'm going to have to decide is the radius going to be a positive 4 square roots of 6 or a negative 4 square roots of 6? So in other words, is it positive 9.79 or negative 9.79 units? And since radius is a distance, distance is positive. So it's going to be that positive 4 square roots of 6.